the first human who refused to leave the weak behind. In a world of ice, hunger and teeth, weakness should have been a death sentence. If you could not walk, you could not follow the herd. If you could not hunt, you could not bring back meat. If you could not chew, climb, run, carry, fight, or defend yourself, then by the cold logic of survival, you should have been left behind. That is what many people imagine prehistoric life was like. Brutal, simple, and every person for themselves, where only the strongest survived. But buried in ancient bones is a different, quieter story. A story that suggests the first sign of humanity may not have been a weapon, a tool, or a painting on a cave wall. It may have been this: someone slowed down, someone looked back, and someone saw a wounded person struggling to keep up, and refused to walk away. Long before hospitals, laws, or religion, ancient humans were already doing something that makes no sense if survival is only about strength. They were caring for the weak, and that may be one of the reasons we became human. Imagine a small group moving across a cold valley, where the wind is sharp and the ground is hard. A child is crying, the hunters are tired, and there is not enough food. Every extra mouth matters, and every delay is dangerous. Somewhere behind them, an injured man limps through the snow. Maybe his leg was broken months ago. Maybe he was attacked by an animal, or maybe disease weakened his body. He cannot move quickly, he cannot carry much, and he cannot chase prey. But he is still there, and that means someone fed him. Someone waited for him, someone protected him at night, and someone decided that his life still mattered. This is the part of prehistory we often forget. We imagine ancient humans as savage because they had no cities, no books, no medicine, or no machines. But compassion does not begin with civilization. In some ways, civilization begins with compassion. One of the most powerful examples comes from ancient human remains found around the world. Archaeologists have discovered skeletons of people who lived for years with severe injuries or conditions that would have made survival nearly impossible without help. These bones tell us something extraordinary, as a broken bone that healed means the person survived the injury. A person with no teeth who lived for years means someone likely prepared softer food. A disabled adult who reached old age means the group did not abandon them the moment they became inconvenient. The bones do not speak, but their survival does. They say, "I was carried, I was fed, I was protected, and I was not left alone." That is a very different image of the ancient world. Not just hunters with spears, not just warriors around a fire, but people kneeling beside someone who could not stand, and people sharing food when there was barely enough. People taking a risk for someone who could not repay them in the obvious way. And perhaps this is where the story becomes even more interesting. Because helping the weak may not have been useless. A person who could no longer hunt might still remember where water could be found. An elder with damaged legs might still know which plants healed wounds. A toothless grandmother might still recognize the changing seasons. A wounded hunter might still teach children how animals move. In ancient life, knowledge was not written down, it lived inside people. Every old person was a library, and every survivor was a map. Every injured adult carried memories that could keep the group alive. So maybe compassion was not the opposite of survival. Maybe it was a strategy. The group that cared for its weak also preserved experience. The group that protected its wounded also protected knowledge. The group that kept its elders alive gave its children teachers. This is the hidden power of human beings. We are not the fastest animal, nor are we the strongest. We do not have claws, and we lack thick fur for the winters. Alone, we are fragile, but together, we became dangerous. Together, we could remember, plan, and heal. And together, we could carry those who fell. There is something deeply moving about this. Because every ancient act of care was expensive. To feed someone who could not hunt meant giving up calories. To wait for someone who could not walk meant risking danger. To protect someone through the night meant losing sleep. Compassion was not cheap, and it never has been. Even today, caring for another person costs time, energy, and pain. But our ancestors did it anyway. Before anyone wrote down love, carved laws, or built a temple, they were already practicing the oldest form of morality. Stay with me, do not disappear, you still belong to us. Maybe that is why abandonment hurts so deeply. Maybe that is why loneliness feels like danger. Somewhere inside us, the body remembers that being left behind once meant death. To be separated from the group was not just sad, it was terrifying. It was cold, it was hunger, It was silence after the footsteps faded, and maybe that is also why kindness can feel so powerful. When someone stays with us in our weakest moment, something ancient recognizes it. This is safety, this is the fire, this is the tribe. When we look at prehistoric bones, we are not only looking at death, we are looking at evidence of care. A healed fracture is not just a medical fact, it is a story. It means someone survived long enough for the body to repair itself. And survival takes more than bone, it takes hands, food, and time. It takes other people. The first human who refused to leave the weak behind probably did not think they were inventing morality. They probably did not see themselves as noble. Maybe they were just tired, maybe they were afraid, maybe they were angry at the burden, but they still turned back, they still lifted someone from the ground, they still shared the meat, they still made space by the fire. And in that small decision, something changed. Humanity became more than strength, it became memory. It became loyalty. It became the strange belief that even a person who cannot help today may still be worth saving. Thousands of years later, we still live inside that decision. Every hospital, every family caring for an elder, every friend staying through grief, every parent holding a sick child through the night, every stranger who stops to help. All of it echoes the same ancient choice: do we leave the weak behind? Or do we carry them? The cold world gave our ancestors a brutal answer: leave them, move faster, save yourself. But somewhere in the deep past, someone gave a different answer: no, they are ours. And maybe that was the moment we became human.